Hello everyone, welcome back to Building History. I'm Trinity and today we're continuing the HMS Endeavour build. Today we're going to be fixing these, making it nice and flush with the bulkheads and the bulwarks, and maybe move on to planking of the lower hull. But let's get started. Let me set up the camera, put you guys in the proper position, and we'll begin. Alrighty guys, so I'm just going to use my box cutting knife for the beginning here, just to get it roughed down. I don't want to use my planer a bit too much here and mess things up. So this is a box cutter, and we're just going to cut off the excess, but not too much, because there is a lot of excess to cut off. When it comes closer to the bulwark, we're going to go on and use this. This is our wood planer, and we're going to move on to use it just now. Just going to need to clean this up a bit, that's all. Just like so. And then we can take our wood planer and just gotta use my right hand foot. Let me move the ship like this, perhaps. Might be a better idea. And then we move the camera as well. I need to get lights for the top, but for now this is all we can do. So we just take our wood planer and we go up and down like so. Sorry if you can't really see anything. I think this might be the best angle. Let me swap things around a little bit and let's see if you can. Much better. So like I was saying, you just take your wood planer, set it on that edge, and go down. Just like so. But you get the concept. Gotta do that until this is nice and smooth, equal with the bulwarks, because on top of this there's going to be a little like hand grippy thing. The rail, it's gonna be a rail. But let me finish off doing what I'm doing here. I'll show you the end result. Okay, so now that we have the desired shape, as you can see at the top, we're going to take our sanding block. Mine's a bit missing pieces, so we're just going to take it here, just like so. You just want it to be nice and smooth before you move on to anything else. This takes a little bit, and it's worth it in the long run. rather cut it out and do everything now before it's too late. But as you can see, there we have it. Nice and smooth. So now what we're going to do is actually move on to cutting these pieces out and making it look like the deck. For this part, see the wood planer is it's a bit too big to actually do anything there, so we are going to have to do this with a knife. We'll go ahead and trim this plank just over here, like so. Okay. And then what we're going to do is just trim it down. You want to be nice and slow with this part. You guys should check out Easy Modded Building. He recently built the HMS Beagle from Oka, and his video is actually really cool. He hasn't uploaded in a while, so as soon as I saw that upload I was on top of it. And he gives you a breakdown of the history of the ship and everything like that. So I think it's a good watch if you guys are interested in that. I'll leave a link in the description. Alright, now we're going to move on to this part of the bulwarks. If you guys have any tips or tricks on how to record these or what I should change, just let me know in the comments down below. That would be greatly appreciated. Okay. See? Just like so. And then we're going to take our sander and we're going to just sand this down. Make it nice and smooth. So like this. Nice and smooth. You guys can see that. Okay. Alright. Let me prepare for this. Get everything set up, clean up a bit, and we'll move on to planking some of the lower hull. Okay, so we're ready for the planking of the bottom of the hull. We're still using 2x4s, 2x5s. And this is where stuff gets a bit more fun because of the curve here. If you look here, this is a lot shorter than it is here. Whatever, you're just gonna need to essentially do this with your planks. Like, twist them. You'll see what I mean in a second. But I think we're gonna start from the stern, work our way forward. So there isn't much of a bend towards the front. So my drill is just here, give me a second. Okay, so the way we're gonna do this is I'm gonna do one more plank from the stern forward. I'm gonna do it from the bow back. I reckon that might be a better idea. 'Cause that's how you plank most ships. Remember, glue the lower side of the upper plank. See, it's changed a bit now. Grip our plank. Throw it on there. Remember, no gaps. And you just gotta let it dry. Come a bit more forward. Okay. I'm gonna draw a hole in here. Yeah, my drill's a bit broken as well, which is always fun. Okay. Even though it is already stuck, I'm still going to do this just for extra support. Pins. Just put it in the hole, get our hammer. Sorry, that was a bit loud. Then we just put it in the hole there. That's fine, I'll remove that when we're done with the planking. And we just gotta do the same thing here at the front after we apply a bit more glue. Yeah. Put down some glue. Sure, on the plank, so alright, that's stuck that one down. I'm just going to show you how to do this one. I'm going to move on by myself until the way of planking changes or I come up to any mishaps or anything. And remember, you just gotta glue the bottom of the top plank and the bulkheads. You really want to make sure everything is stuck down here, just like so. You can see our ship is slowly coming to life, which is very exciting. Yeah. Okay, now with that all stuck down, we can move on to this part here. Just like so. You notice how the plank starts to bend a bit over here. So you just want to make sure they're making proper contact with the bulkheads. You also see some red over here. That's from my clamp. It got stuck. But basically, yeah, this is how we're gonna move on forward until we can't do this anymore. Then we're gonna have to cut out pieces to go in between the planks, which is interesting to say the least. But it's all a part of the adventure. I'm using background music today. I don't know if you guys can hear it properly, but let me know what you guys think. And thank you so much for 6,000 subscribers. That's incredible. It was just the other day when we got to 5k, so 6k already is insane. Thank you guys so much for the support. Okay guys, so I'm back and we're going to be changing the way of planking now because this just isn't working anymore. So what I'm planning on doing is putting this plank like so, follow the shape of the bulkheads, and then we can kind of fill that in, that gap, by using the wood planer as well. So let's go ahead. I just want to glue it here first and then we can move on. Just like so. You can choose how big of a gap you want. I'm just going to glue it down, wait for it to dry, and then this part's going to be interesting. You kind of want to follow the curve of the boat, if that makes sense, like the curve of the bulkheads. But I'm just going to let this dry for a bit. Once it's dry, I'll move on forward, because it does need to bend up as well, towards the bow, that is. So as soon as it's dry, that, let me let it dry and I'll be back with you. Okay, so you just follow the same procedure as you were at the top. Apply glue, stick it down, and then there. What I'm trying to follow is where the bulkhead curves. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's just on the curve of the bulkhead. And we're also going to follow it up at the front. So this is going to be fun, interesting, and worth it in the end. It'll make it look like a proper ship. So let me glue all of these down until we need to start curving it up again. Alright guys, so here at the front, you don't want to bend the plank too much, because if you just bend it naturally, it already curves up. So you kind of want the plank to bend naturally. So like that. Because it just follows the curve of the boat. And then this whole section here, we'll have to plank in a different way. But today we're going to move down to the bottom of the hull. But it's fun, and it's a lot easier than this. I'll have a dedicated video to this on Monday, or on Tuesday I mean. So let's get a move on. So I'm just gonna drill a hole in them. Maybe a bit higher up there. I need to get myself one of those punches. Put in some super glue, CA glue. Put in a nail. Grab a hammer. And there we have it. If you notice how it kind of follows the curve of the ship there on the bulkheads. Alright, so now here at the back, we're going to kind of make it straight again. Let's see. Glue it in the middle. Again. Alright guys, so I'm going to move on to the next plank. If you can imagine that this is how it's going to continue going. The front, it's fine. It's just at the back. Like if you look here, you want it to be straight. And there's a little wedge in there, no matter how you put it. So I'm going to glue this from the front back, and then we'll figure out how to do this, I think, on Monday. I think today we're just going to do a few more planks, get the basic shape, get a few of these going, these gaps, and then on Monday we'll come in, fix all the gaps that we have, and probably finish off this side of the hull. So yeah, let me get this stuck down at the front, and then we'll move on to the back section together. Okay, so we'll keep them together here. Remember to glue the bottom of the top plank, and then we'll let it fall naturally. Once this is dry, I'll show you what I mean. There's always a way to fix your things. Wood is very forgiving. Okay. Now we just wait for this to dry. Can I actually do this again? Forgot about this. Just like so that they stick together, the planks. It's not really stuck down. Let me fix that. Okay. So now that that's stuck down properly, you can kind of see there's a small gap here. I think we can just keep it like this, and then the next plank will have a bigger gap, and then we can use that to fill in a wedge. Just like so. And then we keep it on the bulkhead, because you want it making proper contact there. And it helps now that we actually do have a plank at the top. Keeps it all together. But yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking of the video series so far. This is episode 11. We got a long way to go still, but I'm here for the whole journey, and I hope you are too. Alright, let's get down to the front here. Once again, same thing. Draw a hole. Just like so. I keep whacking the tripod, it's right in my workspace. Sorry about that. Okay. Take our pin. Slide it right in there. Alright. Okay, so we're not going to have too much of a gap for the time being, so I'm just going to continue on gluing these planks down, like starting here, just more in the middle, and we're kind of going straight down now instead of, there's no curves or anything, which is nice and easy. Forgot to put glue on the plank here. Just like that. Keep it in place while it dries. just like so. It's been a bit stubborn. Let me get it stuck and I'll be back with you. Okay, so at the back you can see there's no gaps or anything. So I think that we might only have to fill in this part with gaps. We'll see how the rest of the planks sit. But yeah, we're just going to continue on with the planking like so. Remember, glue this. And just down in there. Then we take this, the clip, just hold them together, and we apply pressure down onto the bulkheads, and we're almost done with the bottom of the ship. I'm going to do the other side off camera, but I'll show you how to close up the hole once I'm done with it, because I haven't started the other side, just this part. So that's going to be nice and interesting when we eventually get there. And then we're going to need to do a whole bunch of painting for the second planking. Let me know if you guys think I should do it on the ship or paint the pieces individually. Because in the instructions it shows you to paint them individually. So we'll see. It's up to you guys. You decide in the comments down below. Okay. I believe that this is almost done. Drying. Yo. When you have a lot of this stuff lying around, it really gets in your eyes. It's like an onion. Now this part's interesting because it's going to start curving the other way now. No biggie. Still going to continue on what we're doing. Just getting the ship ready to set sail. I really enjoy the planking process. It takes a while, but it's worth it at the end, you know? Okay. Alright. I'll be back with the next layer of planks. Okay, as you can see, we're basically on the bottom of the ship now. So, this is really cool, easy to plank, it's mostly flat. Yeah, so let's get ahead and get started. Still, you want to follow the other planks. Might have to do another gap actually. Like so. Yeah. So let's go ahead and make another gap. We're going to start from the stern. And work our way forward. Again, you want it to be sitting naturally. Wow, my thumb was having a little spasm. Just like so. Make it straight, I reckon. Because we can fill that in. Alrighty. Yeah, I know it looks a bit drastic at this point, but once we've done what we need to do, we can fill in those gaps, and we can have one side of the hull complete. I'll do the other side off camera until I need to close up the hull, which I'll do with you guys. And then we'll move on to the second layer of planking which, trust me, is going to be a lot easier than this. Okay. Let me stick this one down. So you didn't get to see much of that, my big arm was in the way. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna wait for the stone bit here to dry. Once it's dried, I'll move on to putting down the rest of this plank. Alright guys, so let's go ahead, stick down the last plank here. You want it to kind of follow its natural path, and if it can join up at the front like that, it would be amazing. So just put a bit of glue there, and put more glue there. Being very vigorous with the glue today. Okay, now we just wait for it to dry. Happy with where it's placed. So the reason I got a wood planer is also so I can make the shapes of the planks easier. It helps out a lot. Let me just continue forward. A little bit of glue there, a little bit of glue there, a little bit of glue there. Perfect. This glue's been very stubborn lately, doesn't want to dry. But yeah. Just gonna have these two little gaps to close up once we're done with the hole. And this one's quite big, but it's no biggie. We can sort that out. Tuesday's video will get most of it done. Somebody's car's dying outside. There we go. Sometimes it's stubborn and doesn't want to drill. Perfect. Now we move on to the front here. See that it goes over the other plank there, so just going to trim it. I'm saving up to get a proper tripod in future. So this one gets in the way a lot, and I apologize about that. Yeah. I think what also doesn't help is because I'm nailing it in at such a weird angle. Okay, voila. Now we just need our glue. Stick glue down in the joints. Perfect. There you go, guys. Did quite a lot of work today, but I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again on Tuesday. This was Trinity with Building History. Have a great one. Peace.